And Jay, I do the lights, sound, and the fog at Tommy's Tavern. Well, Tommy's has been in the family. Tommy and his mom Helen own it now. They bought it, and arguably some stories say 64, some say 67. There was, of course, no music here back then. Todd P started doing shows here in the like early 2000s. Eventually outgrew it. They brought in more people than could fit in the room. I started doing sound here in 2005. Started doing it regularly for every show in 2006. So 6 years, for the most part, averaging 3 or 4 shows a night of anything from folk acts to punk to anything at all. There was a show where I had to tape who's on what channel because there was a violin, a viola, an accordion, just so many different things. It's a great thing about working here is like there's no limits. Like it doesn't matter what kind of music you play, we'll set it up.
Tell me a little bit about Bobo.
Bobo. Probably 5 years ago, I'd been doing sound here for a couple of years. And one night this guy was coming back, picking up empty bottles and just like regulating the room. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know who he was. You know, it turns out he grew up with Tommy. He's been coming here since he was 8 years old or something, playing wiffle ball in this room. Since then, Bobo's made this place what it is. A lot of the criticisms people have had here went away once Bobo was here, exerting the Bobo presence. This place owes him a lot. And
what's the Bobo presence?
The Bobo presence is a brilliantly sarcastic intimidation. And there it is now. How Again started playing here in probably 2009, maybe even late 2008. There was a time, it was in 2009, they played here 1 month, 6 times. I started calling them our house band. We saw them so often. And what they said about that was, well, we don't really plan it, but people keep telling us we have a show at Tommy's Tavern. Do you want to get on the bill? And we love playing there, so we always say yes. So we saw them constantly, and saw them get better and better from earlier kind of rough feeling each other out to becoming one of the most polished and professional bands we have here. It's gonna be like, I think, maybe the second time the Highway Gims played here that Andy gave me this and said, and I really wanted to hear what you think about this. And it blew me away. Like, Faster the End is a great song. Farewell. Those are among my two favorite Highway Gims songs. I love everything on She, but those 2 tracks make this worth having. That plus the artwork. This is beautiful. I remember seeing Highway Gims play here with early shows with the Men and the False Alarms, like bands that were all early in their careers, and this whole scene kind of developed with these guys. That every one of which I see now in the past few months are like blow me away, and it's great to have seen them that early in their careers. Well, the band's definitely they have a unique presence, and Andy in particular, sitting at his drum kit, with his throne set way too low and just going insane. And I watch people sitting here and see the crowd and how everyone's affected by that. Like, it's like really like nothing anyone's seen before. Andy's drumming style is the most undisciplined, crazy, insane perfection you will ever see. Alex has a real understated charisma. There's something about him when you watch him and listen to him. There's a sincerity coming out of his lyrics. It's really like he's feeling every word he's singing. Russell's just like rock solid. Russell's a great, solid, steady bassist that brings that band together like no one else could. You know, I always keep that door locked and enforce that a lot. You can't open that door. It's too loud in here. The cops come. Except Andy. I let Andy, when he wraps up a set, he can run out, open that door and run out for fresh air because he's fucking Andy. False Alarms, I think really I probably first saw the False Alarms on a bill with Highway Gimps. Since then, I've gotten to know them a lot, and they've played here a few times. I've gone to see them elsewhere. Ethan's insane, so it's a great band. There's really nothing like the Brooklyn What. Look, I smile when I even say the name. I've seen the Men now for probably over 3 years. They played some early shows here. They just played here a week ago, their first show after their big European tour. Now they're world famous, but to me they belong here, and I hope we'll always have them back. Those guys, I should have stopped there. High Teen Boogie are among my greatest friends, and a great band who they've played together so long. It shows the polish in that band. Noam Lee is my favorite bassist. I've also seen her play, besides playing bass in High Teen Boogie, with Iconicide, and also with a stand-up bass, even solo stand-up bass, just her on vocals doing High Teen Boogie songs was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a Japanese tsunami fundraiser. I've seen Eleanor a lot over the years, and they've just gotten better and better. They've gone, they were two-piece, sometimes they're three-piece. The heavy sound they get out of the most bare bones presentation blows me away every time. You know, Mike and Matt are, I've had great conversations with them about sound engineering, anywhere from here at Tommy's to on the 62 bus, where we're run into them and pick up that kind of conversation. The guys are great. Like what they did with She stands out, but I hear their work with so many other bands. They impress me a lot. Let Me Crazy is another band I think I probably first saw at a Highway Gimps show. Since then, I've worked with Let Me Crazy a lot. Let Me Crazy actually has the record for the latest show ever running at Tommy's Tavern. At Chris's birthday show, we had 6 bands. We got started at maybe 10 o'clock. At 3:55, Let Me Crazy was still playing. At 3:58, they wrapped up that song and said, "Can we do one more?" You know, it's probably time for us all to go home. So 3:58 is the standing record, the latest show ever at Tommy's Tavern, Let Me Crazy. Okay.
I just need to know if this guy's 86th. Seems
Okay.
like trouble to me.
All right.